I'm going to rank every previous and current AFL logo, putting them on a tier list from the very top, scrumptious to the eye, all the way down to delete club. Starting off, all alphabetical order, Adelaide Crows, original Guernsey. Now, obviously, a lot of these old Guernseys are sort of made like this. I think this is half decent. This, proper nice, bit nostalgic for me. I do love this. This is just the same. I'm trying to think what's different. Oh, obviously the top. I don't like the writing as much as one above. So that one's going in honking. Lions Guernsey, not a fan of this. I just don't really like the gradient. It's not clean. Yeah, that's a Toby Green eye gouge for me. Current Adelaide Guernsey, don't know why this was after. I love this. I call this a Guernsey, it's a logo. What the fuck am I talking about? One of the better logos currently in the AFL. Big fan of this. Lions, I do like this. It's a proper nice. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are more of a fan of the current day, the cleaner, more simplistic logos. And that is a good example. Brisbane Lions, I don't like this. It's honking for me. This is, I believe, a Fitzroy related one. Yeah, it's half decent. Like, it just is what it is. I don't like this. Not a fan of this Guernsey. I think they could have made it better. What is this? I get these in delete club, both the Brisbane Bears. What? I just do not like. That looks like if a koala had sex with a bear and that came out, because what even is that? Brisbane Bears, a relatively boring logo. We're going to put that in honking. I'm going to go relatively quick with this. Blues. Now, yeah. There's just not enough happening. This, on the other hand, I am a big fan of this logo, which I think is better than the current logo. I actually prefer the less simplistic version. This is still half decent. You might be saying, you know, it is relatively similar to the one next to it. This is delete club. What is that? That's horror. That is honking. This, it's just iconic. Scrumptious to the eye. That's just a good one. I rather have the sort of flags at the bottom as well. We keep moving down. This Magpies is nowhere near as good. We're putting this in honking. Honking, I think, is a harsh way to have the fourth category, but you know what? Fuck it, who cares? Bombers. Now, scrumptious to the eyes, that logo. These two, they are eerily similar. In fact, I know I have glasses, so I am blind, but I struggle to actually see what the real difference is. And for that reason, I quite like that. We're putting both of those in half decent. Fremantle, which logo do I prefer out of those two? I think I probably prefer the more simplistic version of it. I'm going to put this in honking, and this newer one will go in half decent. The Cats, these are shocking. I just don't like, see how those three are just very bare? Doesn't look like anything's happening. Like, there's no flavor to it. I think this is a proper nice logo, their current day one. And I'm honestly not a fan of their old logo there. I think, yeah, it just doesn't hit right. Gold Coast, I like the sun. I feel like, you know, it just adds more flavor to the logo. So I do prefer it, although I do think they are both terrible. So we're going to go honking and then Toby Green eye gouge. Sorry, Toby Green, I am very attacking of you. GWS logo, yeah, they pretty much just had one logo. It's super simple. It's half decent. The not in there in half decent. Hawthorn. Now, I know which one's going in the top. Is that logo. What an absolute stunning logo that is. I'm a massive fan of it. Now, if we look down the line, the newest logo, I like it. It's in proper nice. Not as good as the older one. This logo, I think, honks. Well, it doesn't honk because that's honking. That honks though. Demons. Now, we're gonna go, this is just a bit boring, isn't it? Don't you reckon? It's just boring. These ones, all the others have flavor. That is terrible. That's a disgusting logo. These ones have flavor to them, right? I like a bit of flavor. I'm a fan of this. This reminds me of David Neitz. I don't know why it reminds me of him. I don't even know if I'm saying the right name. I like that. That's a proper nice. That's in proper nice. This, however, that bloke looks, that's gotta be delete club. Who is that bloke and who created that? Disgusting. North Melbourne, Now, I know this logo is the worst of them, so we're putting that in honking. Out of these two, I'm gonna have a closer look so you can't actually see my head right now, but I probably tend to say the kangaroo on the right looks more, you know, fierce and aggressive, where the one on the left is a little bit nicer. Nostalgia, recency bias, I reckon they're basically the same, so we're gonna put them both in half decent. Port Adelaide, massive fan of that logo. Massive. This, however, is clean, but it's nowhere near as good. It gives me Juventus vibes, you know, that sort of logo for the Italian giant club. That is improper nice. Richmond, scrumptious to the eye. Get that at the very tippity top. In fact, we'll reorder this at the end a little bit for the top and bottom. Who cares about the middle? This is Delete Club. What is that creation? That is horror. This reminds me of Bad Times, but is a very nice logo. And this is just, you know, that's half decent. St. Kilda, this stick figure can go straight in Delete Club. Iconic, very iconic. Also in Delete Club. Now we move on to Sydney. I do love this. That is a very nice one. I think both of these two, they pay homage to the South Melbourne roots, as well as paying, you know, current homage to the actual Sydney team it is, the Swans, you know, the Swan there, especially on this logo on the right, has the Opera House there. In fact, I think this logo has everything, so I'm gonna move that one down a proper nice. This really, if you really think about everything, it has the South Melbourne side, it has the Swan, it has the Opera House. That is one of the better logos. Thinking about, you know, who created that must be a very smart person. All these old logos, this for obvious reasons looks like it was created in 1800s. This is even worse with the bridge, and I don't mind this logo, so we're gonna put that in honking. Eagles, this is amazing. This is as good. I fucking love those two logos. They are brilliant. This eagle looks like it's trying to be hard, but it's not. Delete Club. And this is just only one better, purely because it has a, you know, bit of outside flavor. The dogs were on the final. Oh, there's also another Essendon one. But anyway, with the dogs, current logo is awesome. A really good logo. I do like this logo for nostalgia, but it's only going in proper nice for me. And then we keep moving down. I think all of these logos are quite nice. I know this looks like it was created in the 1800s, but you know what? I'm gonna put them in half decent. Wow, we are going all the way at the bottom here. And this logo, Essendon, I think this was a special 100 and something years, I don't know, something like that. It's just half decent. So what I want to do now is I want to reorder a little bit, have a look at what I can change around. Now, let's reorder the very top row. Now, I've obviously have a tendency to like newer, more simplistic logos more compared to those old school ones with the little crest. Can you blame me? I feel like if you ask someone who was 50 years old, not 20, they would prefer the opposite. But alas, now from this very top row, I think I can move certain teams a little bit further down, and I can move certain teams a little bit higher. I think in any order, these are the best 5 logos. The current Richmond, Essendon, Adelaide and Eagles, and then the old Port Adelaide. And if you go down to the bottom, if you let me reorder this, I've moved some teams around. I've added Lions and Brisbane Bears in the tier above to make it a bit easier. But I think these 5 logos here are some of the worst logos I have ever seen. They are disgraceful. Now, this eagle, why is its beak so big? A lot of questions about that. This demon, who created that man or woman or they, them? It's 2023. It could be whatever it wants. That demon is horror. This Saint stick figure, come on. Stick figure? Fucking really? Was this like a 5-year-old won a competition? This is so boring. It's a joke. Like, it is so boring. I don't know who created that or who thought that was a good idea, because that is horror. Is horror. And it's not the boring like this Carlton one. It's literally, you could create that in 2 seconds on Photoshop. And this hawk, I have second thoughts. What is that? A dodgy triangle with a beak. Horror. Absolutely horror. But anyway, that was a nice, quick, tier list ranking of all the AFL logos. There might be more, there might be a little bit less, but what are your thoughts on it? Give me your best logos and your worst logos. No one really cares about the middle. But as I'm saying, these are the 5 worst down here, and these are the 5 best up here. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Check out the TikTok FTFooty 2 Ys, post a load of content on there. And yeah, thank you for watching.